We kick off the next chapter of madness with Mario waiting for a bus to the Spaghetti Festival, only for him to grow more impatient every other nanosecond. We also see Shumi getting mauled by a bear in the street for some reason. Maggie arrives attempting to cure her friend's frustration by letting him borrow her phone, because somehow he didn't bring his. They found out the bus is being delayed thanks to Shumi's bear attack, and Maggie's forced to look after her baby brother some more. I guarantee you will feel the same if you were in that position. Luigi comes along asking why Mario's still at the stop, so he suggests speeding up through dark magic meditation, and warns that the method is risky. But adjusting the time within the video itself, he ends up traveling to the future, leaving him in a wasteland. This could be after future events that caused the world to be this way, or it's completely unrelated. We'll see. Then some space-time aliens attack him for breaking their rules, waking him up in the present, which brings the aliens over their timeline. Mickey tries to fend them off, and Mario calls Swag, who's driving the bus, but reassures us Webber can only get them so far with certain foes. Just go with it, people. Swag decides to take everyone to the One-Eyed Carnival and make peace by having a blast. Later, they leave for the Spaghetti Festival, which was near the bus stop the whole time. The place they just went to turned out to be a lot more fun, and Mario convinced Peter Griffin floor sleep. Our 3-week break is done, and we have a fantastic start this season. The mundane twist, pacing, and jokes are very good, the characters are great, and the ending is top-notch. I appreciate the lack of plausibility when it comes to ridiculing everyday tasks, whether it's January or any other time of the year that brings us surprises like the Watchers. Adding speculation to this universe filled with mythological creatures. Side note here is to not to take how the characters determine or develop their skill sets seriously. Especially because we have a character that's currently learning powers at her own pace, since that can make watching comedy less fun later down the line. You know who you are. With that said, the video earns my first perfect score of 2022, and there's all there is to it.
Have you ever heard of NFTs?
Reviving a long-abandoned sub-series. The video starts out somewhat identical to the original game. During closing time, Mario exits Glamrock Freddy's body thinking it was a toilet. The reason the show closed earlier. He's told to go back and hide when a security guard named Vanessa spots the robot. Freddy orders him to escape as soon as possible, so he tries to find the exit but gets caught by a rabbit named Fanny. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the game. It's actually Vanessa in disguise. Mario travels through the vents, finding a way out, but gets startled by a robot DJ and drops into the playroom. The attendant named Sun messes around with him until Mario manages to get himself blasted. We then have the usual shenanigans with Chica trying to make pizza, ending with her getting crushed by the machine. He then gets hassled with robots offering maps. Tries to play golf with Monty and enters a car race with Roxy and repairs Freddy to sneak out from the animatronics, until Fanny pokes Freddy, stinging the man-child in the process. Nearing 6 a.m., Mario's about to be fed to the blob until Freddy drops by to play guitar, taming the beast and devouring Fanny instead. Someone was definitely turned on by that, sadly. The blob carries them to the main floor and the two arrive at the exit. Freddy offers Mario to either go his separate way or stay another night at the mall to look for more discoveries. Remembering he's not a fan of these joints, he torches the place instead, and you couldn't blame him for it thanks to this pizza chain's cursed history. Knowing security breach memes were all the rage at one point, I should have seen this coming. Nonetheless, this is a decent return to an important part of the show's history, whether Luke had fun making this video or not he was forced at gunpoint. The jokes are high tier like Roxy's OnlyFans because you know me too well and I couldn't help myself. To be fair, I don't consider this amazing since there's the overused Mario screaming. I don't turn deaf ear to things like that because I know they can be used different sounds. But at the same time, I'm not going to be salty over a non-issue and dismiss the video's entire credit like the uptight jackass. That also includes the usage of censorship if you're that stubborn to decide they're trying to keep monetization.
They suck a fucking dick!
You might well go look up edited SpongeBob episodes if you really want to hear swear words that bad. The visuals are in need of improvements as it's a 50-50 where some parts look accurate while others not so much. And the pacing is all over the place but not awful. So the jokes are what's carrying this whole episode. And as such, this gets a basic 7 out of 10 for its troubles. One last thing about Security Breach. I heard this game was rushed at launch and some jarring bugs. Though I haven't seen any controversy months before release that contributed to this happening. Well, what do I know about the game development? Moving on.
America, more like terrible place to live. Well, Kermit, it's commentary. My humor is informative. Well, okay. But this last one is really the one that stands out here. Bring up 9/11.
The gang are having lunch at the homeless would reject because class president Kermit is handling the meals with no budget. Guessing Principal Skinner is running Omnia Academy then. Mario decides to take over his position by running for class president so he and his friends can seek decent meals. The Frog and Plumber face off with their campaigns to varying success, initially making bookies pass out flyers, and then for Melly and Bob chime in with the broadcast fail, and a poop parade. All of this trouble for class president in a community college within a town that largely ignores Ryan for a reason. At the election, the two mudsling each other to garner the audience's votes. With that said and done, Mario is victorious. Unfortunately, being the typical idiot he is, he realizes Kermit left the funding in the toilet and nervously is responding by flip-flopping his plan. The crowd becomes angrier than a 4chan outsider, believes that those are his final words, and crucifies him by burning down the school. His friends admit this was all a lousy idea, and Kermit gives a monologue that easily attributes to real-world politics, which I'll play here.
Don't understand the burden of leadership. People just want power. They don't understand what it truly takes to lead your people to a better world.
I'm Kermit the Frog!
Justifying an episode that mocks modern elections because, let's face it,
Some of it is pretty corrupt.
this is a noteworthy problem in today's society, not exclusive to the States. And to be kind of frank, it's a bit underwhelming due to less energetic scenes from highly hot-button issues. But don't expect them to name drop real people or events that could get them into hot water. Once again, the humor carries the average pacing to save it from being forgettable aside from the subject matter. So this gets a 6.5 out of 10. Something that doesn't knock down the video, but still worth pointing out is that Luigi is nowhere to be seen except for the thumbnail. Don't know why that happened, but I'm sure he doesn't mind.
I hope you got a help.
Never mind. Next video.
It's Crazy Bus, and it's fucking crazy. Whoa, we're driving a bus here. It's fucking crazy. Oh my god, I can't take it. It's so fucking crazy. Crazy bus, crazy bus, crazy bus. Whoa.
Shumi holds a forest field trip and the group enters the bus. Psycho and Tari are there to babysit Mario for good measure, and you can't blame them since he didn't go to the bathroom before the bus started moving. He annoys his mothers, but they understandably ignore him. Bookins misses the ride, then holds on to dear life at the bumper. Shroomy and Swag have a convo until the former sees a bear and asks him to mow it down. See the first video for why. Melanie still gets annoyed by Bully, and Bob sees his buddy out the window yet mistakes him for a gremlin and tries to keep him off the bus. Melanie notices the commotion and under Belly's orders use her power to help them out, but they fall off the vehicle. They might have gotten out easy considering what's about to happen. Back to Mario's shenanigans, they continue to ignore him until he bribes Tar to release him while Psycho's distracted and Mario makes Swag crash the bus. He's then tied up to the roof, but hey, at least he took a piss now. The rest arrive at the destination, but then Shroomy spots the same bear from earlier. It's pissed off about what they did and in return has brought some friends. Almost everyone's under attack, so Bully advises Melanie to again focus on her powers, then slashes the fuck out of those bears to save her friends. She passes out from overkill, wakes up to see the group heading home. Bully reveals his names to be Niles and appreciates Melanie taking his advice and agrees to keep doing so in the future, but still takes the chance to fool around with her. Tough guy. Sokka and Tara realize they forgot Mario, who was held captive by the gummy bears. This was the end result.
It's me, Mario! It's me, Mario! It's me, Mario!
Ugh. Crazy Bucks Deluxe Edition. This one is a joy to watch and a variety of characters, adequate pacing, and solid humor. Besides Neo's power speed kinda slow, there's really nothing to complain about. Well, not eternally to say the least, because this video has a trip in the title. Certain viewers had too high expectations to say they believe it was a new entry for the miniseries from 5 years ago, which only had 2 connected episodes. This one doesn't have 4 in total, and they took it as well as you expect them to. I mean, I noticed Maggie wasn't there and didn't have a problem with that, so what exactly is their problem? Anyways, you'll be happy to know I'm a way more fair person when it comes to this stuff. So I give this a 9 out of 10. Nothing else to say except, well, watch out for those bears. They're crazy motherfuckers.
System errors.
Mario wakes up to his daily absurdity, but this time with a candy meter shown to the left. To demonstrate, it changes to a disturbing pig when stuff like Mario jumping off a building happens to then to a positive one when he wins his dream mansion. Once inspects the basement, things taking a truly turn. He bumps into a mysterious character that makes him to a room of his lifeless clone that sits through a nightmare of friends T-posing, told he's living in a simulation. They're not wrong. I mean, how could you miss when we seen last summer? Mario wakes up to see his mind connected by a machine, but run by none other than
Incredible.
Pixar's superhero himself kidnapped the Paisan, presuming as a test subject, so he tries to escape the virtual world. He attempts to corrupt the simulation by manipulating to its own desire and vice versa. After a heavy scrimmage only viewers who can pay attention to understand, Mr. Krell revealed his motives, explaining his displeasure of being treated as a joke from the uncanny memes weeks ago. Despite it being considered dead by now, he has yet to turn blue or be forced to go to the internet graveyard. Nothing less, he went insane, and his former rival once says,
"You can't count on anyone, especially your heroes."
Mario teleports himself and Bob Parr into the flower field, changing his mood as the distraction to get back to the real world. With the father of 3 stuck in his own creation, he returns the favor by turning the simulation into a thing you find in the hub and leaves. I don't know how he felt when his wife first became private with a certain crowd, if you know what I mean. An unquestionable credible video. Honestly, this is one of the most entertaining videos so far this year. It's literally uncanny at points to the point to make me feel on edge upon first viewing, which was likely on purpose. The template of Mario's horror reference and themes and comedy-based action is all good stuff, so it's a 9 out of 10. Great work, you guys. Before I get to the next one, let me just play this clip.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Yeah, you heard this before, but I made this quick. Complaining to about an SMG4 video being unoriginal is like saying a YouTube poop is unoriginal. I just made a long rant in my previous multi reviews. please go check that out, because I don't want to repeat myself like people whining about memes. Same thing applies for this next episode, because oh man, this one's nothing short of special.
Anybody care what this guy thinks?
No!
What did I tell you? To begin, Mario approaches the castle seeing Funky Kong selling $1 million NFT. Was aircraft and bike racing getting old for this guy? Persuaded, he sells the castle, grabbing a stupid picture for his phone, and to no surprise, his wife unleashes her fury. Mario then shows it off his friends, but they immediately don't buy into it. Except for one, he takes it to his own hands, flexing into everyone else, and gains a ton of credit wealth. The game intervenes about his obsession, but he gains the ability to capture anything into tokens, starting off with his flesh and blood. Bob, being a guy too familiar with scams, shared his NFT knowledge so they could build an empire off of them. He quickly gets carried away, capturing anything that moves until there's nothing left, including Funky, who now regrets showing him the Forsaken photo and tries to off himself for it. Talk about becoming the thing you hate. The crew look for Mario in the post-apocalyptic Mushroom City and gets captured into his phones. But Atari is spared. His greed made him clever enough to create the Cerebro, another piece of tech that helps him locate rare tokens via simulation. Atari challenges him to a duel using her Yu-Gi-Oh cards, while Mario fights back with his collectibles. Out of left field, Bob, having realized the error of his ways, screenshots his bored ape army and turn against him. Everyone's back to normal, angry at the scarecrow, and Former captures him posse to teach him a lesson. Luigi asks he has any interest in them, but Ford gives a crystal clear answer which all that needs to be said.
No.
Have you noticed ever since Mario learned he's the Avatar, he's been getting away from his crucial antics like this? And the bus trip? Or is it just me? Anyway, this is another brilliant episode video that serves as a cautionary tale for the current state of the crypto space. There's good interactions, pacing, and humor, while the former is there, it had to make room for Mario's insanity towards the dark side of digital collectibles. The cherry on top is Luke's message, making it very clear they won't support such things. Before you come up to me and screech into your monitors, I have stuff that supports this claim. Some grifter trying to mint the channel URL as an NFT without permission, among other YouTubers that had no control over this. And while on break, the guys behind MEE6 started offering them through their premium service, something the official Discord makes us use of. So I imagine if they knew those pesky tokens wouldn't do any good. Regardless, if they pay attention to the rest of this crap, the episode gets a 9 out of 10 for all it's worth. The fact that he had to make the YouTube comment and tweet saying the same thing is relieving, but at the same time, you can never win it on social media in these horrendous times. To save myself from getting more depressed, let's close out these reviews with the last one on this video.
Isn't there anything on that isn't about boxes? I guess this is okay.
While Melanie moves out of apartment, she reminisces on her former flame and contemplates her powers, then later trains at the soccer field with Niles. At the time of writing this, I still haven't figured out why he's invested in her problem and wants to do this in the first place. She struggles but overcomes discouragement right away. Meanwhile, the Mean Guardians gather around so that 4 and 3 could practice their own powers. Mario's weekly tomfoolery is trafficking sacrifices for the Box Club for a free meal, the epitome of the chaotic neutral. 4 and 3 overshoot a target which helps Melanie defend Niles from the orb. Bootkin showed up to warn the group about Mario's ruckus, leading them to the shady club. The Italian charter is given his reward and the Boxes attempt their ceremonial chants. One explains that about the legendary godbox, an entity that contains all the universe's secrets. Whoever opens it lose everything beyond comprehension, likely putting the world to an end. The allurance of power causes the club to not back down, so they engage in a trademark SMG4 battle. The speech before it reiterates the anti-hero's fearless lust, making him nearly sacrifice Mario. Melee puts a stop to everything by putting 3 in a stronghold, and is conflicted with sparing their possible ally or traitor. She flies away under pressure, and 4 smacks him for screwing up their plans. At the pier, Nels approaches her to comfort, saying that the situation wasn't her fault, and that Axel would love to see her standing up to her friends. Mario, having realized his mistake, throws the box leader into the pit and barely takes him to Ponyville instead of Hell, and Crash bashes him out of his love of wrecking crates or payback. Whatever works for the man, Marsupial. Here we are again, with a bunch of to unpack. First off, I had to explain the dual plots they tried to execute. One is pretty good, while the other one I felt had a lackluster ending. There's Melanie and the Guardians, still on their way until they defend their friends, but one of them gets in their way, making for a good case study on SMG3's true intentions. And the Box Club supposedly entering their demise, which seems to be played for laughs. If this is the last we've seen of them, especially the leader, it feels pretty cheap since he introduced a new villain for the show's ongoing lore, making him an important character they might have wasted. The humor does take a backseat, understandably so I know comedies don't always have to be 100% funny. Pacing is pretty adequate for a story-based episode, and aside from Mario, who felt like a plot device this time around, the characters are alright. 3 especially, because anti-heroes who stupid behave evil can be interesting. It's still not a great one since one of the endings holds it back. I would have made them into separate videos, though if they had condensed it for time, I couldn't really stop them. So it gets a 7 out of 10, and judging by the new channel banner, we're in for another treat this year. Watch out for any low research theories and unrealistic expectations for the next couple months. Phew. Another long batch of reviews done and done. Hope you appreciate the time and effort my friend and I put into these. But if you're some guy who came here to yell at me because you don't like friendly YouTubers making a living, then feel free to report the channels in no time so they have to cancel their shows and go get jobs at Hungry Jack's. Well, I care.
Fuck you!
Fuck you too!
In all seriousness, thank you guys for your patience, and since I just remonetized my channel, I hope I can put up some different content if you like. Stay safe, wear a mask, and get vaxxed if you can. Hope you're having a decent 2022. If nothing else, and as always, peace out.
The police, Mario, back when we still knew the world had troubles, but somehow we were too happy. Go, lucky to notice. I want to go back to when it seemed like the world suffered to peace were wide open to me. I don't want my life to be polluted with everything and citizen anymore. I just want to be happy. I just want to be as happy as I was back then.